Welcome to InfoSource, a presentation of Berkshire Healthcare Systems, a not-for-profit consumer center organization committed to fulfilling the health and residential needs of the people in the communities we serve. I'm your host, Jennie Sutherland, and I have with me Deirdre Tozer-Hayes, Marketing Director up at Hillcrest Commons Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. You and I spent some time together doing one of the programs you put out for the community, and it's about Healthy Heroes, and you take that program into the schools. And I, coincidentally, am at a place in my life where I'm looking at having healthier habits. So I'm kind of thinking that if it works well with the kids in the elementary schools, that I might get a little something out of it myself.
Well, hopefully you will.
Okay, so why don't you talk to us a little bit about the program first?
Well, the program is really not about teaching the kids anything new. What we find is that they already know the information, but it's bringing it in a different form, and hopefully that they'll actually take that information and the booklets, take it home, work through the tasks, learning different things, and sharing it with their parents. So it's not just about them leading a healthy lifestyle, but them sharing it with their parents and grandparents, and that's the real key to it.
Yeah, and I think that's what struck me and really resonated. It's getting everybody involved and supporting that family together time, and maybe it helps other people get healthy too, like myself. Which schools are you partnering with this program?
So last year was the first year we did it, and we did it with Crosby School.
Okay.
We're going back into Crosby School to deliver it this year, but we've also had Conte School come on board.
Oh, excellent.
And we've just delivered that last week to them. And we're going back to get the results and see the kids, and we reward them as well for being, it's very interactive. So even when we go into the school, it's not just about giving them the books.
Yep.
We get them up, we get them exercising, we have them take their pulse, ask them about how big their heart is, where is it located. The biggest real thing that I found is how little sleep the kids are getting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think when I was with you that day, the kids were surprised at that. So we're going to get to that in a second. But there's another school that kind of partners with you, some older students.
Yeah, so Taconic High School, which is right across the street from Hillcrest, they both come into the facility and they do some work, especially with the health tech students. But we also go in and we train them as they go with us to Crosby School, especially to deliver this project. So it's not just me going in, and it's not just adults, it's kind of kids that have come from Crosby School who are now looking at the health industry, and they go in, and it really pushes them in terms of talking and presenting what they've learned and talking in front of a group or a crowd of kids, really.
Yeah, and I followed a group of those older students to the younger classrooms, and it was interesting to hear them connect about being students back in the same classrooms. The younger kids really identified. They thought, oh, look at these big kids, and oh, this one wants to be a health tech at an x-ray place, and they all kind of got excited for each other, so that was really great. All right, so again, you're doing it this year at Conte and
Crosby School.
All right, so that's cool. All right, let's see if I can pick up a few tips, and I'm going to hold this up to the cameras and show that this is the workbook that you do in fact give out to the kids. Yep,
so each kid receives this workbook. We work on it that day with them, but then they get some time to take it home and work through it and really share it with their parents. It's very colorful, interactive, and as I said, it's nothing really new that they haven't learned or they haven't heard from either their teachers or their parents, but it's just reinforcing it in a fun, interactive way.
So I flipped into it, and there's some stuff about them specifically to answer some questions, which is great.
Yeah, it's about getting to know you, and also this is a real part of them sharing or talking with their parents, because that's a really important part of communication-wise. So it's asking them to find out how old their parents are. How old will they be in 30 years? Who is the oldest person they know? And also kind of what is their favorite food, because we're going to talk about food in this, or what's their favorite activity, because we're going to talk about physical activity. So it's, communicating, and this is the real bit of sitting down with their parents parents and grandparents.
All right, let's turn the page and let's get going with this. See if I can pick up, the food first, huh?
Yep, food first.
Clearly I need some education on the food part.
Well, the other thing is this is kind of something that we keep working on year to year. So we have made a few changes to this. And this year we have gone with the My Plate. So it is about how much food or how much fruit and vegetables they should be having on their plate. So do you know how much fruit and vegetables you should have on your plate every?
So a combination of fruit and vegetable?
Yes. How much of your plate should be made up of that?
I'm going to go 70%.
Not far off. But it is 50%.
Oh,
so 50%
right,
at least.
I was going
should be.
high to seem like I put that much on my plate. 50%. Okay, all right. That I can cut that back a little.
So in terms of this, we asked them to. There's some coloring involved, but also kind of fill in the words about what their favorite food is, what food group that comes from. Is it a grain? Is it a protein? Is it dairy? And also then trying to identify what kind of makes up knowing your food. So, what is a lentil? What part does that fall into? What part does fish fall into? How much dairy should they have on a daily basis? So it's really, again, I keep using the word, but it's interactive for them to fill in and know about food themselves.
Well, I think it's also mindfulness. They're actually thinking about it. I see those, especially those aged kids, they're racing around and they're trying to get through stuff. And for me, it's the mindfulness. So that 50% fruit and vegetables is good. And thinking about
and we also talked to them about, what's the difference between fried chicken and roast chicken? What are the benefits? Although we all might love fried chicken.
We might.
But it's asking them questions. So a lot of it is we ask them questions. What did they have for lunch? What part did that fall into?
Right.
What is a better way of cooking it or preparing it? Even French fries, is it better that if it's in the oven that you cook it or kind of deep fat frying? So it's asking them these questions and just having them think about it. What are they going to put in their body?
Sorry, you lost me on French fries. I went to tater tots, and that would be a whole separate show. So all right, let's maybe skip out of the food now. And what's next is probably, is it drinking water?
It is,
okay.
Yes.
See, I didn't say just, I added drinking water, so let's go.
So it's about hydration, and really for a 9 to 13-year-old, how many cups of water should they have a day?
I'm going to go 8.
That's good. So we say a range of 6 to 8. And we also talk about, in terms of really having them understand how much of their body is made up of water.
And this is the part. So this is the part I was really interested in hearing again. So go ahead. So
really that 75% of your muscles are made up of water. And that 83% of your blood is made up of water. What we also really found about this was that our culture now is that they go and they buy water in a plastic bottle, and having them realize that actually the healthiest and the most tested water is the water that comes out of their faucet. So that is a good source, and that really amazes kids. They don't realize that the water that comes out of their faucet is really the healthiest water that they should be drinking.
No, and that's true. Also for the recycling of those plastic containers and stuff. So I get a little squeamish on that because I'm still of the old school. I'm made of sugar and spice and everything nice. So we're talking about that. But yeah, I never thought of that or heard that before, and that gives me pause to think. So that's an important part. All right, I see. What are we on? Task 5.
Yep, task 5, and this is really kind of one of the real fun ones. It's about staying active.
And you do a fun exercise for this.
We do.
That is like a tripped out Simon Says that you catch me every time, and then I get pouty at you and sit down.
So on this activity, we actually push the desks back. We get the kids up and standing. We talk about where to take your pulse, how to take your pulse, resting heart rate versus when they're active, and then we actually get them active. So we're doing mountain climbers, running in place, pretending they're running for their bus, and really get them moving.
And that's good for them to know how to do that. And it's interesting. I think that connects them to themselves.
It is. And what we find is, now with computers and iPads and different things like that, is that working on how much exercise should they be getting a day, and that can be split up. So they could walk to school, that might be 10 minutes, then they have recess, then they could walk home,
Sure.
then they might play basketball or soccer. So it's
they
really
might play basketball.
well, that's just my favorite one, but then that they need 60 minutes of exercise every day, and they need that really five times a week.
Sure. Again, that's one of my takeaways that I'm trying to work on. So, all right, next page, please. I can see why your kids, you have 2 4-year-old daughters, and you'd be good at reading these stories. Next part of the story, please.
Well, this is the bit that I hope my 4-year-old daughters will do a lot of
It's
the time.
not happening.
No, it's not, but it's about getting plenty of sleep.
Okay.
And this, as I mentioned at the beginning, was the thing that we really found out about the kids, is that how many of them are going to bed really late. Part of it is, they want to act cool in front of their friends in terms of saying, oh, I didn't go to bed till midnight and I had to get up at 6 o'clock.
Cool in front of my friends is telling them I go to bed after Jeopardy, 7 o'clock. They're like, oh, I wish I were you on that one. That's cool when you get this old.
But it's explain to them how important sleep is, and that actually for kids that are aged between 5 and 12, they need 10 to 11 hours a night, which they're not getting oftentimes. We have a few that are, but there's quite a few of them that said, they're not going to bed till 11 o'clock at night, and then they have to be up nice and early to get to school.
Yeah. Well, with so much technology and stuff. And the other thing is when kids are involved in after-school activities, sports, they're out late, and sometimes they're not getting home. So I think that's an important one to stress with them.
It is, and what we also found is separately we're doing another project with Conte School about attendance. And what we found is that a lot of the kids who were missing school or showing up late, that it was because they weren't getting going to bed and they weren't getting enough sleep.
All right, well,
so this really also tied in when we were working with Conte as to how much sleep you actually do need and what effect that has on your body.
Again, I like this program because it can touch so many areas of these kids' lives and stuff. And again, mindfulness, so that's great. All right, we're almost to the end of this.
We are. The last one is just kind of a healthy aging crossword puzzle.
Oh, good. That will stump me, and I'll need the answers.
But the other thing is that the book itself has a certificate right then. So if they complete everything, their teacher signs off on it. It's a certificate saying that they've learned about what makes making good food choices, being active for a healthy body, how to drink the correct amount of water, and how much sleep they should be getting. So right then and there, it's a kind of an instant reward that they've completed this booklet. But then we come back in. So every child who completes the full booklet receives a special limited edition T-shirt.
I forgot my T-shirt.
Yeah, I gave you one last year.
I forgot my that would have been good. Well, put that on the list of this show could have been even better if the host wore the T-shirt.
So they get a T-shirt, they get a water bottle. So it's kind of things from here that they can go about, and it keeps them mindful of what they really should be doing.
Well, again, thank you for going over this with me again, because I need to be reminded and hear these tips again. The pulse thing is important. The water thing is hugely important, and the rest at any age. So.
It is, and I'm really passionate about this, and it's about being into the community, and the students that are at Crosby School, and we have staff members and residents that have actually gone to that school. So it's really about working with the community, both Crosby and Conte.
Well, I think it's great that you and Hillcrest Commons Nursing and Rehab Center take this program out to the school. I think it's very important. So I'm going to thank you for that. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, some more about Hillcrest Commons. And I'm going to keep pondering healthy life choices.
You could be a healthy hero.
Back in a minute.
Nestled between the woods of beautiful Burbank Park and the banks of picturesque Onoda Lake, in the heart of the Berkshires in western Massachusetts, Hillcrest Commons is just minutes from downtown Pittsfield, in the heart of the culturally rich Berkshire County. Hillcrest Commons Nursing and Rehabilitation Center offers you the best of both worlds. It's a locally run facility, staffed by dedicated healthcare professionals from the central Berkshire area. And it's backed by the expertise and resources of Berkshire Healthcare, the largest nonprofit long-term care provider in the area. Berkshire Healthcare is committed to fulfilling the health and residential needs of the people in the communities we serve. Hillcrest Commons is a proud recipient of the American Healthcare Association's National Quality Award. The Quality Awards recognize members' commitment to performance excellence by continuously demonstrating ever-improving value to residents and other customers. The Bronze, Silver, and Gold Awards recognize overall organizational effectiveness and capabilities and champion organizational and personal learning. At Hillcrest Commons, we pride ourselves on our deep commitment to our community. We offer a broad range of nursing home services, including short-term rehabilitation, skilled nursing, long-term care, hospice, and respite care services. In addition, we also offer more specialized services, including a fully dedicated Alzheimer's unit, a geri-psych behavioral unit, pulmonary and ventilator-dependent care and therapy, and a full bariatric weight loss program. We proudly offer an elegant, home-like setting that allows our residents the comforts they expect while providing the care they need, including fine dining in our graciously appointed dining room, beautiful outdoor space, ample activities, and private family space. At the heart of it all is a focus on the body, mind, and spirit. Our rehab services include physical, occupational, and speech therapy. Our licensed therapy professionals help restore and maintain the body by focusing on helping our residents improve strength and mobility in order to participate in the activities they most enjoy. These services are provided up to 7 days a week when ordered by a physician. Hillcrest Commons is more than a place to live. It's a place to enjoy each day to the fullest. Our activities program focuses on the mind and spirit of our residents by offering engaging leisure and recreational activities, arts and crafts, music, discussion groups, exercise sessions, religious services, and cultural community outings and more. Each resident and patient at Hillcrest Commons receives the highest quality care delivered by our dedicated staff members working as a team. From the nursing staff to our front office personnel, everyone is enthusiastic about the role he or she plays in the lives of the people who entrust us with their care. Our staff is committed to providing compassionate care, using teamwork as their guiding principle. We're dedicated to treating each person with dignity, recognizing their individual needs, goals, and preferences. We create a care plan for each person, focused on helping them achieve the highest level of independence and quality of life. At Hillcrest Commons Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, we're perfecting the art of superior care. If you or a loved one need short-term rehab, extra care after a hospital stay, or a nursing-supervised full-time living arrangement, we invite you to tour and meet our staff. See firsthand how we enhance the lives of those we serve. To make arrangements or get more information, call 413-445-2300. We look forward to meeting you.
Welcome back to InfoSource. With me is Deirdre Tozer-Hayes, Marketing Director at Hillcrest Commons. We were just talking about some ways to take care of yourself and make healthy choices. Hillcrest Commons supports that out in the community. I'd like to hear about some more things that are going on with Hillcrest. And the first one I want to hear about is the renovations. The last show you were on, you said, we're going to get some renovations. So I'd like to hear how the place is getting dolled up and spruced up.
Well, they have started. So that's
started.
the exciting
we're in
thing.
The start.
So unfortunately, if you come in, you can see that they've started. But it's all exciting.
Well, it's fun to watch that. I'm sure some of the residents are digging watching the work people. And
definitely.
Yeah, that's a show.
So what happens is the whole place is getting a real makeover.
Excellent.
Each room within the facility, every residence room will be redone. The hallways, carpets, and probably the most exciting bit is that on the short-term rehab unit 2 is that they will have a gym for physical therapy that'll be right down on site.
Oh no, that's really excellent news, because I know there was, you have an area, but it's a little off from that spot where they have their rooms and stuff. So that's great. That's wonderful.
It is, because really it's the short-term rehab people who are coming in, they want a quick turnaround, and they want to get back home. And this will mean that actually they'll be getting their rehab and their physical therapy quicker, right on site, and then be able to go and recover, have in-room dining, and hopefully get them back up and back home as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, that's good, and I will swing over, because I want to check out even. I get excited about that, because it means that the people who are staying with you feel good and it's easier. So I'll come check that out. Some other things going on for you. This will be good. Is the ABCs of Hillcrest?
Yes. Again, this is teaming with our neighbors across the street, Taconic High School, and their health tech students. So a lot of them have a career choice of maybe being a CNA, and they're learning about the health field. But we thought it would be good to really expand their knowledge of what is out there and what could they do, and how do you get into that role. So I started it off by going in. I was a professional basketball player and coach. But now,
you don't say. Well, if I had a timer that was working and I knew what part of the show we were in, I would say I couldn't believe you waited this long to drop that one. That's a future show, folks.
But it also, how did I then go from that into working in admissions and marketing at a healthcare facility? We also have had a social worker come in and talk to the students.
Oh, that's great.
And we also had somebody from the business office come in. We have other people lined up from the dietary, from housekeeping, director of nursing. So it's really about showing them that there are different paths, what our roles really are in order to make the facility work. And that they might have a different path that they could take their career down. Yeah,
and I love, especially in your case, where you had a cool gig before this cool gig, and when you're with the kids, they really like you, and you're very approachable, and you meet them, and then they see what you're doing now. So I think that's a great delivery of look at the opportunities for a career in this industry. So I think that's great. New partnering with Conte.
Yeah, so again, last year I was kind of new to the role, so we had a partnership with Crosby School, and we wanted to extend that out. So I had a talk with Conte, and we have developed a partnership with them. Again, they're not too far from our facility. We have a lot of staff who have children that go there as well, and they're part of our community. So we are doing several projects with them. One has been the Healthy Hero project. So we started that. We also are doing and helping them, as I mentioned earlier, with the attendance. So some of the children who have struggled with their attendance or tardiness, we've gone in to speak with them, offer incentives in order to get them to make sure that they're attending school.
I think that's great.
And offer them an ice cream social if they do attend.
Well, I have pretty good attendance anyway, but pretty much for ice cream, I will do what you want. So that's a good one. Route 66 Diner, not my personal favorite, yet I'm going to look at this differently. What is that about?
Well, we used to do a Travel the World dinner, and we just thought we would change it up a little bit. So it's Route 66, which is across America, and it's for seniors in the community. They call up, they reserve their spot, they come up, and they pay $5 for a 3-course meal. Each part of the meal is from a different state. So the other week we had clam chowder, we had Philly cheesesteak, and then we had a Washington apple dumpling for dessert. It is a real social event, so we're regularly getting between 65 and 85 people come for dinner.
I love this. I love this, and you and I did an event that kind of spun off of this, where we had a person come in and talk about senior sexuality, and a lot of those people that attend your monthly dinners, and you could see the camaraderie and how much fun they have with each other, not just the folks they come with, but with the other ones. So this is great, this having them eat together once a month. And I mean, 60 to 80 people a month.
It is.
Restaurants would love to do that.
And it really has grown. When I first started, we weren't up around those numbers. We have people who are going to Florida, and they've already booked come May time.
Yeah, that's really awesome. some of the other, we've had your dietary department on here to talk about it, but you pick food that's very approachable for them and they like, and I think they have some input every once in a while.
Oh, definitely.
But they are big fans of that food there, which is the same people are making the food that's going out to the residents.
It is, and it is the same food that then the residents have. So when we did a chicken marsala, it's the same chicken marsala that our residents actually get to eat as well.
See, that's that little extra piece that I really, really like about Hillcrest Commons is you're doing these things and you're including the residents and stuff there. So that's really cool. If folks want more information, I mean, I know you're having renovations, but if they want a tour, how and when can they tour with you?
Obviously, anyone can come in and one of our staff members will tour them. But I always say I like to meet them, find out what their needs are. So call me direct. And my direct number is 413-445-9747.
That's awesome. And is that the same number for if they want to attend the Route 66?
Yes, call me directly.
All right. And the other thing I want to add is you have the Route 66 dinners, but throughout the year you do educational series and different things. So last time I encouraged people to reach out to you, maybe get on your mailer, get calls out. Is that still true?
Please do. We actually, today I was working on a leaflet for a new one, which we're doing with one of our affiliates or one of our partners, Hospice Care in the Berkshires.
Oh, great group.
So that's going to be in May. So stay tuned for that.
All right. Well, let's have you do the number one more time.
413-445-9747.
I just need to take a minute and say we've done many shows, and usually we have a blooper. And there's some people that watch this show very intently to see if we do it, and we didn't do it. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, it's looking good so far.
So again, all this is happening at Hillcrest Commons Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Pittsfield. Deirdre Tozer-Hayes is happy at any time to talk with you, answer your questions, or give a tour. The work that you're taking out into the community from Hillcrest is awesome. Super happy about connecting with the kids, having them feel better about coming to the skilled nursing facility. I like the ice cream socials. So a lot of excellent work going on up there. I want to thank you for coming on as always,
thank you
my
very
friend.
much.
And I want to thank you out there for watching. And I want to remind you that InfoSource is a presentation of Berkshire Healthcare System. Until next time, I wish you good health, good life. Bye for now.